I wanted to talk a bit about employee experience. So in Australia at present, we've got low unemployment and a bit of a talent challenge. And as a result of that, organisations tend to be doubling down on the experience they deliver to their employees so that can help them with attraction and retention and give them the capabilities they need to go and achieve their objectives. What have you learned about employee experience? Do you think it's something that can be intentionally designed and delivered? And have you seen great examples versus poor ones over the years?
Yeah, look, I definitely think that it's a domain of good thinking and good programs, no doubt about that. I think also, where if you look back on the last few years, never before have we sort of had so many things change and impact on the work experience and the workplace. Yeah. The pandemic, hybrid work, social cause at work, which extends then into a whole range of other domains. So you have to be thoughtful about it, particularly in an environment, which has been, constrained, and then, the change in the world around what investors are expecting as well. So there's a whole bunch of dynamics you have to deal with. There's a couple of areas where we certainly focused, and something I learned was, for example, employee well-being. There's a way of looking at well-being which is programmatically, what do we offer all our employees? Yep. There might be a gym membership, it could be the nature of the food and the drinks you provide at work. It could be well-being leave and other things that you offer those individuals who are looking to address some concern around their well-being or opportunity around their well-being. And then you've got the individual responsibility that also comes with that. So there's company programs, but there's also what education to give your people about their accountability and responsibility for their well-being, because I think that's a vital part of it as well. But in the middle of it all, the thing that through people I've worked with is really fascinating is the thing that's most important to well-being at work is the environment I operate in. And the beauty of that is it's completely aligned with what you need to execute a great strategy and to be customer-centric. And that's ultimately about clarity. So if I'm working in a work environment where there's some clarity about why we're doing what we're doing, what's most important, that's really important and really makes a difference. And then alignment. Do I feel that I'm being supported, that the resources are here, that the organisation is behind what I'm trying to do? So alignment's another critical thing there. And then the other environment around just being able to express opinions and views and have the opportunity to grow and develop. Those things in well-being are really important, and they intersect totally with what it takes to run an effective organisation.
Yeah.
So you can offer lots of bits and pieces to your employees, but at the end of the day, what they really want is to know that at the end of the day, they've been listened to, they've done something meaningful, and they've felt that they've made progress.
It's kind of what's the primitive, isn't it? Like, I could be highly impressive by saying at ABC Corporation, we have an amazing wellbeing program and we have 94 elements of it, the sort of things you mentioned in terms of leave and food and coaching and support. But if in that business there's cynicism and a lack of trust, all of that stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you can have another company that has nothing except really good people, honest conversations, genuine care, and the well-being of that employee will be far superior than the other. So it's really about coming down to what really matters, isn't it?
And that's a little bit of the startup journey.
Yeah.
Right? The startup journey of the founder team, right, is like, let's start in, your living room. Right?
Yeah. Employee number 3 and 4.
They're not talking about where's the gym. Right?
No.
So I think that what drives is that purpose, that passion, that teamwork, that environment.
Yeah.
And as you grow and you broaden out your base of employees and you want to attract people who aren't startup people, and we're not all startup people, you have to start to look more broadly at how you cater for their needs. Look, at the end of the day, another critical thing at the centre of all of this is people leadership, people management as a capability.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always believed since my early IBM years as a people leader. Never seen it replicated as strongly as it was at IBM decades ago. In any company I walked into, the focus on building the capability of people leadership and expecting quality of people leadership is a really important part of that employee experience, because if I have a people leader who is well-trained and capable, then it's far more likely there'll be clarity and alignment in the job I do every day. So, and as you scale, that's the thing. Operational excellence, when you just open the doors of your business, is kind of less important than when you're scaled and you're in a scaling phase, and then you're obviously in a more mature phase. You've got to make sure that operationally everything you do is efficient and effective, whereas in the early stage you're just trying to prove you have a product that's going to serve a customer need.
Yeah.
So things change as you go from one end of the journey to the other, and so does the employee experience. But to my mind, if there's one message I always give to people leading a business, it's that you will never ever invest as much time as you should in the two things you must be most obsessive about. And that is the human aspect of your operations, and the change, the nature of your change journeys and how human they are. Because organisations don't change, it's people who change. So that's really critical, is that you've got that at the centre.
And I think a lot of organisations do overcomplicate it, probably driven by consulting firms to a degree. I think about leadership and the complexity of it all, but at its basic levels, there's lots of middle managers, especially in organisations, who still think the role of a manager is to answer questions and direct people. And as you start to show them that, well, the role of a leader is to coach and encourage and let them find solutions so they can grow, that mindset shift in itself can be quite powerful. So I agree that there's sometimes just a lack of 101 leadership, investment and capability in organisations, and it's probably the key to unlocking a lot of potential because of the nature of the humans that sort of sit through the system, if you like.
The critical thing I think to keep in mind is that when you're talking about evolving a business, changing a business, words are all you have. Words are all you have. If it's a written word, it's a spoken word. So your organisation is going to change to be what you want it to be only as fast as the words are spoken and heard. So it's really important that your people leaders are capable of having the most important conversations with each other, with their bosses and with their people. And I don't know how you get there without real focus on coaching. So an area that I think has been really important in recent years is the whole area of speaking truth. And there's great examples there with Radical Candor as one book, and there are other crucial conversations courses that you can run. But anything you can do to make sure the quality of conversations in your organisation are more real, more direct, more to the point, will accelerate change.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. So you've got to give your people leaders capabilities and support to have those conversations. And as a CEO, you've got to be prepared to welcome people coming into your office and having them with you and telling you straight what the reality is.